Hey guys, welcome back to Simmer Down. Today we're going to be making something that is going to have this kitchen smelling amazing. It's going to smell like the garden, okay? The garden. Because we're going to have fresh rosemary, we're going to have fresh thyme, we're going to have oregano, and some lime. It's going to be so simple. Do you know what it is? Take a wild guess. Lamb chops. Yes, my little girl asked me over the weekend, Mommy, can you make lamb chops for me? Mommy, can you please make some lamb chops this weekend? I'm going to get started. I'm going to make her some lamb chops, but I'm going to have you with me, guys, so I can share with you how I make it, and you can go home and try to make it too. Okay? I don't doubt it at all that you guys are going to love it. You're going to love it, your family's going to love it, and it's going to be a recipe that you're always going to run to when you're making lamb chops. My little girl always makes happy plates when she eats lamb chops. Sometimes you can't even tell what she just ate because the plate is completely clean. So, let me go wash my hands. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. Alright, so my hands are clean, and right here I have, it was a rack of lamb that I actually sliced into smaller pieces. I had cleaned it with lime and sea salt, scrubbed it with lime and sea salt, and then had it sitting in the water with lime for about an hour, okay? I'm going to take this water and I'm going to drain it, take the limes out and throw them out, and then we're going to get started on seasoning it, okay? So stay tuned, I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I had drained the water out of the bowl, took the limes and stuff out, placed it in the garbage. And once I drained the water out, I made sure I pat dry the lamb chops, because when I put it in the pan to pan sear it, I want to make sure that it's getting a little brown tint on the meat. I don't want it to be so much moisture in the lamb chops that is not actually browning. Black garlic with pink salt by Badia is what I'm going to use today to season the lamb chops with. All right. Black garlic is nothing but garlic that has been dehydrated in the sun. Okay. And it gives off like a roasted garlic flavor. If you don't have this at home, you can always roast garlic at home. Okay. As a replacement for the black garlic. So I'm going to just eyeball it. All right, we're going to turn this around because we seasoned this side already. You can put as much as you like. I don't want it too salty. So I'm just putting just enough, just a hint of it, you know, just to give it a nice little taste. All right. And now I'm going to use, this is a black pepper. Okay, turn it around, get the other side. Next, we have some lime that I had zest. I zested a whole lime, right? And I think I had showed you guys before. But when I say zest, I took the skin off of the lime, the very first part of the skin, which is the dark green part. When you start to get really close to the white, when the peeling starts to look really white, you're going too far, okay? Just take the very thin layer part, the very first thin layer part of the lime and just grate it, okay? And that's where this comes in, which is the zest, okay? So this is just nothing but lime peeling that I had zested, okay? What I'm going to do, I'm going to drizzle in a little bit of olive oil. And the reason why I'm doing that, I would say about half a teaspoon. The reason why I'm doing that is because when I put this on the lamb, I want it to stick, all right? So just take a little bit and rub it up on the skin, all right? You're gonna rub it all over. And this is just one lime that I zested. If you feel like you want more, that's fine. But the zest of a lime goes a long way. All right, we're just gonna rub this in, give it a nice massage. I don't know if you guys can see very well, but look, it's in there already. All right, you're just gonna keep rubbing it in. I have a 1/4 cup of oregano that I'm going to season the lamb chops with. You wanna make sure you get it all on the meat. Massage it in. Let's give it a nice massage. Now I have some thyme, fresh thyme. I would say it's about 4 sprigs of thyme. I'm just gonna sprinkle it in here as well. And you're gonna rub it in very well. If you can look very well, you'll see that it's seasoned. All right. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to put this in the fridge for about 30 minutes to an hour, and then I'm gonna take it out and I'm going to start pan searing it. Okay guys, so it's been an hour. All right, I had the lamb chops sitting in the fridge for an hour. Now it's time to start pan searing it. I have a cast iron pan here, but if you don't have a pan like this, this is fine. That's fine. You can use just a regular stainless steel pan, or if you have a regular cast iron pan, that's fine as well. This pan has been preheated, okay? It's on medium high heat, all right? I am going to put some EVOO, all right? I'm gonna put some in here. I'm gonna make sure I put enough to coat the pan. All right, and because we're pan searing it, I'm gonna also put some butter. About a 1/4 cup of oil, right? And I have a 1/4 cup of butter that I'm gonna put in here. When you pan sear it, it has to be oil and butter combined, okay? And it has to be nice and hot. While that's getting nice and hot, I'm going to take some rosemary and I'm going to place it in here. By us putting the butter and the oil in the pan together, it's going to slow down anything from burning, okay? It won't burn so quickly. All right, so as you can see, it is sizzling. I smell the rosemary. Let me turn it a little bit so I can get some oil on the other side. All right, so now that it's nice and hot, I'm going to start placing in my lamb chops. Once you put it in there, you don't want to keep turning it, okay? It smells so good already, guys. All right. So now I'm going to let it stay on this side for about 5 to 7 minutes and let it brown. And then I'm going to turn it onto the other side. So give it about 5 to 7 minutes. Guys, I almost forgot. But we must make sure that we have this in here as well. 7 cloves of garlic, okay? And I'm just going to put it in here, just around the pan and in the middle of the pan, okay? They're not cut, they're just whole pieces of garlic. Okay, so it's been 7 minutes, all right? It's time to turn it over onto the other side that we didn't get to brown yet. All right. Can you see? It's gotten brown. All right. I'm going to give the others about 3 to 4 more minutes to brown on the side that I just turned it on, okay? All right. So I turned this one around. And if you look very well, it has that brown tint on there. All right. I'm going to, I don't know if you can see here as well too. Got that brown tint. I'm going to now take all of the lamb chops that we just browned on each side, and I'm going to place it in the oven for about 40 minutes to an hour. I'm just going to be watching it, all right? But it's going to be about 40 minutes. I have the oven preheated on 400 degrees, and we're going to put this in the oven for 40 minutes. Okay guys, I forgot to tell you guys, the first 20 minutes that is in the oven, you need to flip it over and then let it brown out again for another 20 minutes, okay? So that was still total out to 40 minutes in the oven. All right, stay tuned. I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I am about to turn it over to the other side. It's been 20 minutes, but it's looking really yummy. All right, I turned it over to the other side. I'm about to put it back in the oven for another 20 minutes. Stay tuned. Okay, so it's been 40 minutes. All right, if you look very well, the lamb chops are really nice and brown. And the garlic has a little roasted color to it. The garlic is roasted. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take the lamb chops out of the pan and place them on a platter. This platter right here. All right. Just take it out of the pan. So here it is. We're going to place it to the side. And all of this stuff here, we're going to make like a sauce. But I want to also make sure to drain some of this oil out. We don't want all of this oil in here, okay? So I'm going to take the time and drain some of it out. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm going to lift it up so you guys can see how much oil is in here. All right? So this oil right here, we're going to take this out of the pan. Okay, so now the garlic that's in the pan, right? I'm going to take this out. We're not going to trash it. I'm going to press it, okay? I'm going to garlic press it. All of this garlic right here, it was about 7 to 8 cloves of garlic that we had in the pan. All right, so let me press it, and then we're going to put it back in the pan. Okay, so now we have some sprigs here from the rosemary. They're really big branches, I guess. And I want to just take this out, okay? I don't want to keep this in here. All right, we got enough rosemary in the pan still to make our sauce. So this can go. All right. These limes that I had sliced, I'm going to squeeze them in the pan to start making the sauce. The pan is not on. It's just hot, okay? We're not going to turn it on just yet. We just want to make sure we get all of the juice in here. If you get a little bit of the pulp from the lime, that is fine, all right? If you don't care for that, you can always you can use a lime squeezer if you want to avoid the pulp. So the 7 to 8 cloves that I did take out of the pan, I had squeezed it out, all right? And this is what we have left out of the garlic presser, all right? I'm going to place it in the pan. About a cup of water, and I'm going to start slowly putting it in because I want to pick up all of this stuff that's in the pan. I want to make sure that the water, when it warms up, that it can lift up all of this good stuff out of the pan to make the sauce, okay? All right, so we have 1 cup of water that I'm going to slowly place in the pan. And while I'm slowly placing it in, I'm also trying to lift up any of the tidbits that cooked down in the pan. I'm trying to lift it up so we can make a nice little sauce to go with the lamb chops. All right. And we're also trying to break up that garlic. And once you feel like it's up, you can start putting the pan on a low to medium heat. We don't want it to cook too fast, at least not right now, until we're sure that all the tidbits and stuff that was in the pan is lifted up and we're able to continue on with our sauce. All right, I still have some more water here. I'm going to rub the bottom of the pan with the silicone spatula just to make sure that I got all of the tidbits up. I'm going to kick the fire up a little bit so it can thicken up the sauce. So I'm going to put my sauce on to a medium-high heat because we want the sauce to start thickening so it can be like a glaze onto the lamb chops. The lamb chops are going to be on the side, right? We want the juices to stay locked in, so we're not going to tamper it right now because it's still very hot. So once the juices lock in there, then by the time we're done with our sauce, the juices will be locked into the lamb, and we can put the sauce on there and then cut it, and you'll see that the lamb chop will be nice and tender and juicy. It's getting hot really fast because the pan was already hot from being in the oven. And you want to keep moving it around so it won't start burning at the bottom. Alright, so the lamb chops are hanging out, just cooling up, just trying to lock in the juices and waiting for the sauce to thicken up some so I can pour it on the lamb chops, which is right over here. Alright, so we're about to drizzle it onto the lamb chops. So the sauce is ready. It's not a lot. It's just enough to get onto the lamb. Okay guys, so as you can see, the lamb chops are done. Alright. And I put just enough sauce on it. I didn't want, too much. I just want enough just to coat the lamb. So I'm going to cut one of the lamb chops open so you can see how it looks inside. Alright, stay tuned. I'm going to start with the thickest lamb chop. And I'm going to slice it on down. Look at that. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm gonna try to see See that meat running out of it? I am about to try a little bit of this lamb, okay? Excuse me for being sweaty, but I guess this is part of being a cook, right? Look at the meat, guys. Look at the rosemary, the thyme, and the oregano. It is juicy. It is far from dry. If you look very well, it's far from dry. Can you see that? Some juices just dropped. I am about to give this a little taste, and I'm going to let you know how it tastes. Hold on, let's see. It never fails. It never fails. It's so good. The seasoning is perfect. Just the fresh herbs alone. This thing right here is another banger. This lamb chop right here. Guys, I thank you so much for joining me today on Simmer Down. I hope that this recipe that I shared with you guys is everything that you were looking for. So, if you like this channel, please click the like button, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your family, and also click the notification bell to notify you when I have a new video out. Until we meet again, please stay safe and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.